Ladies and gentlemen, please give a round of applause for our guests of honor, Peter Block and Frank Sabatella. All right, so actually here.
My start, or one of my starts, really finding films that people hadn't seen yet, covering film festivals, buying those films. I bought the first film from Peter Jackson, from Eli Roth, from Alex Aja, number of filmmakers, James Wan, David Slade, Casey Lemons. Quite a few films for people who hadn't had films done before by covering film festivals. I love covering film festivals. I just came from Toronto, from Telluride. I'm on my way to Toronto. I don't have to do it anymore. I enjoy doing it. I do it for myself, and I do it for some of my clients. I love just getting in there, seeing something that nobody's seen before somebody else has the chance to tell me what their opinion is, or see how somebody else is going to market it. I kind of judge it for myself. I kind of do my own distribution and marketing plan. When I had to buy the films, I took it very seriously. I was very good at it. There's no silver medals. You either get it or you don't. You have to sit through films that you don't like, but you can make some business with. You have to leave films that you think are wonderful, but you have no business handling. Walking out of Napoleon Dynamite was one of the horrible experiences I had, and I snuck back into another screening because I knew we would not do a good job with it. But you have to stay with the films. But the point being is, many of the films at festivals will never get distribution otherwise. There's more distribution than ever before, but still some of those, this is the one time. So when you've got an opportunity for the Syracuse Film Festival right here in town, support it, and don't just look out for the films that you're going to watch on Netflix next month, or you're going to see in the theaters at the Cineplex. In Toronto, I can go see Hustlers, I can see The Goldfinch, I can see Ford versus Ferrari. I'll see Ford versus Ferrari, that sounds fair. But all these films that are coming out, that are going to be out in theaters, that's not the ones I'm excited about. I listed all the films I'm excited about. You may not know any of them, and you may not see any of them, but I'm going to be really happy I saw it, because you never know when you're going to pull like a piece of dialogue or a shot or something. And I don't mind sitting through something that I don't love, because there's always something about it. So if you have the chance to support the Syracuse Film Festival, please do so. And I can also tell you this, somebody who every October goes down to the Disney Concert Hall and sees classic horror film with an accompanying organist, and has sat through at Comic-Con the last couple of Star Trek movies with an orchestra. It is a great experience. It's like watching something completely different, a great sensory experience. So what they're doing at the Syracuse Film Festival, please support that, because it's great, and if I were here, I would be doing it. As I said, going to film festivals, I no longer have to do. I do because I love it, because you just never know what you're going to find. The other thing I'll say, just in case you guys don't ask me, is why we were here and why we were in Syracuse. I was supposed to make a film in Romania. It fell out in April of that year, so all of a sudden my summer was open, and I thought, what the hell am I going to do? And so first you start with the money, and you're like, okay, well, we've got to cover a certain amount, and where can we go to somebody who is experienced, who can get the rest? So you immediately look for those states that have tax credits or rebates, and they handle them very differently. The way it works here is different than it works in Oregon, it works in Louisiana, but knowing that there are places where people are actually experienced enough and can talk to you. So the first person I talked to was Eric, and at first I called Josh Crook, who had been here before. He put me in touch with Eric, and the best thing about Eric was, got on the phone, he answered questions, and he said, we can do that. We didn't call until sometime in May, and we were shooting in July. That's how quickly this film got put together. Mostly because I didn't want to be home alone in the summer, but you do it because you trust people. So having someone like Eric and having New York State having the tax credit it has is great. Having the opportunity to come different places and get a little extra bonus is good. I will tell you that coming up to Syracuse was a great experience in many ways. It was a break-even philosophy on our picture because, and don't take this as a negative, because we came up expecting that we'd be able to crew up entirely here, and so that coming up and making it local, the benefit we got, would more than make up for the costs. But the truth of the matter was, you didn't have two crews. You had one crew and some people, and even though there were other people, but Elias said is 100% true. The smaller the crew, the less risk you can take on people who are inexperienced. So you need somebody, because you're not 3-4 people deep at every job. You're one person deep. And I don't have time to micromanage, though Frank will tell me I did a good job with him. But so the first question I said, and when Eric would say is, we don't have everybody because we got this other film shooting, and and it's like we have these people, and I want to look at their experience, and they just not everybody had it. Sometimes you're lucky and you get people who've never worked on a film before, like Jenny, who's fantastic, sitting over there, and she came on and she just was a whiz. But for the most part, I wanted somebody who had enough experience where I wasn't going to have to wonder if they needed to know what to do. So we had to go out and bring people up from downstate. By the time we brought them up and we housed them and we paid them their per diem and stuff like that, it was break even. Would I still do it again exactly the same way? I would, because of all the other things we'll talk about. People were great, the help was great, the facilities were great, Eric was great, Bill Fisher at the stages was a dream to work with. But it would have been better if I had been able to choose from experienced people here and be able to actually get the benefit of that, tax savings, because they didn't get it, but I'm not complaining about it because it offset in different ways, it gave us a community feel. But the more you guys get experience knowing your jobs, more likely people better than me are going to be choosing you because they're going to want your experience. Because it's not about how eager you are, it's just you know what to do without being told. And that's really important. So the training that Elias's program gives you at CNY is invaluable. Knowing what to do, knowing how to do it, being able to ask the questions that you don't want to ask of the wrong people on set. So please support, CNY, because next time I come up, and I will, I want to crew up as much as I can from here, because not because I want to support CNY, I like it if it's a benefit. I want to keep as much money as I can to go on screen. So if I don't have to be schlepping people up from New York City and housing them and paying per diem and things like that, and I can put it back into the economy here or put it on screen, I'd much rather do that. But you only get that if you have real experience. That said, real experience comes in many forms. Work on everything. If there's student films at Lemoyne or at Syracuse, take those jobs. It's if there's an opportunity to go downstate, if there's, friends are making shorts, all the experience you have. I mean, everybody always says to me, what do you attribute your success to? I was willing to make mistakes. I just didn't want to make them twice. And that's how I look at it with everybody who works for me. And I always have, as a manager and as a producer. It's like, you can screw up, because until you screw up, you don't know really what to do. But if you can have that experience on a short film or on a student film, and then you don't have to replicate it when somebody's paying you and looking at their watch at the same time, it's really good. So that was my really long monologue, but I know you were probably looking at everybody who was speaking before, going, when are they going to get to the fat guys on the end? But as they were talking, I was like, God, I wish I had been able to sit in the audience years ago and hear what they were saying when I was at the same stage of my career as you guys are now. So please support them all and appreciate what they're doing. Turn out for the film festival. Pay attention to CNY and especially, the Film Commission needs you to be active and educated and supportive, because we will go where the money is. If all of a sudden you become next year's Ohio, you're going to be in a different state. But as long as you've got a reason to come and the state pays and the people are trained, it's going to be a great place. And New York really is the focus right now. Now you got to just get them up. So anyway, that was it for me.
So there's somebody up here who you guys may have thought was just a pretty face to have on the stage, but turns out he actually has some things to say. So Frank, tell us about how your experience shooting in Syracuse and the Syracuse region. Frank was the director of the show, by the way.
Hi. Before I say anything, I just want to, I know there's people here that worked on the show. I see you breaking over there. I waved to you like 3 times. But anybody that was here that worked on the shed, if you guys just want to stand up for a second, please, I would appreciate it. On the film, and I know a lot of you guys are local, and I just met them when I came up here. I live downstate, and as Elias and everybody's been hammering this point of coming here and finding skilled crew locally, that's invaluable. I'd say everybody else just here definitely fulfilled those needs for us. Overall, my Syracuse experience was great. I mean, it's a cool place to come to because of the diversity of the scenes around here. You know, we took time scouting, and it was very easy. I mean, I think my first time up here, I went with you, right? And we were like, hey, we're looking for this sort of dilapidated house because we need a high school, and we need this, and we need that. And Eric was like, oh, I know what that is, I know what that is, I know what that is. And all these sort of different things were all in one very small area, which was great for our productions. We didn't have to move around too much, and we kind of set up camp in one house in Manlius, and it just, you know, it just provided a good environment really for this film.
My intern
Yeah, his intern comments, right?
and the shed.
Yeah, it's, you know, we built the shed.
And Bert.
And Brooke. I'm gonna lie.
I was kidding.
All right, thank you very much. Syracuse. Have a good night.
All right, we're running out of time. We're gonna do a Q&A. No, we're gonna talk more. Yeah, but we're gonna have a Q&A after the screening as well. Peter, can you tell us about you've gotten a little bit about your background and your career. Can you tell us a little bit more about how you came through the career?
It was a circuitous journey, but I think I got to the right place. You can't replicate it, and you probably wouldn't choose it for yourself. I started out in Disney and theatrical marketing. Well, what's funny is I grew up, I'm much older than all of you, at a time when you didn't know you could just go work where you wanted to work and do what you wanted to do. So I went to college and started the Film Society and started the cable network. Not because I had a real desire on it. I wanted to be a marine biologist, but just because there wasn't one. And I thought we needed it. So I started doing stuff like that. And next thing I knew, I was talking to agents in New York, and I'm talking to, and so when I graduated, I just went out to LA and literally didn't have a plan of attack. Got a job at Disney theatrical marketing, had a Mr. Smith Goes to Washington kind of experience, had to kind of regroup, ended up in law school, and worked representing writers and producers for a while. Did very well, and all my friends kept saying, "Oh God, you're in the entertainment business," and I kept saying, "No, I'm kind of in the paper business. It doesn't feel like entertainment." So I did with the thing that Owen and John would say, "Of course you need to do." The moment I had paid off my student loans, the next month I started working for a little video distributor over a taco shop, and the great thing about it was we got discounts on lunch. And it was just a couple of us, and we started putting out stuff, and we were putting out the very first films I did for them were like Longtime Companion and Cook, Thief, His Wife and Your Lover, little Goldwyn films. And my boss said, "Well, these are doing great, you have to buy more of these." And I said, "Well, but the people who watch these only watch one a month." I said, "We need to kind of go in a genre direction." And I said, because those people, they'll walk into Blockbuster. There were stores called Blockbuster in Hollywood and probably heard of them. I also used to sit there with my cassettes and a pencil and kind of forward a cassette. But anyway, you have no idea what I'm talking about. Anyway, so I said, the genre audience will rent 3, watch 2, and then rent that third one again next week, and they'll do it over and over. So we became a genre house, a lot of horror films, as well as art films, and I was running television and video, and the deal I had with him was, and it was ridiculous. My girlfriend left, and my parents disowned me because I basically said he could pay me whatever he wanted. If I ever felt it was too low, I would leave. But every year I wanted to run a different division of the company, in addition to what I was doing. And 5 years later, I was running the company. 2 years after that, we sold to Lionsgate. I stayed on to run their ancillaries, video, television, did their deals, sold home videos, produced their movies, and again, starting the same thing. The very first movies I did there, I produced Girl with a Pearl Earring, bought Red Violin, and they said, "This is great, you're doing exactly what we want you to do, but how do we do wide release?" And I said, "Well," and I made it sound like I had just come up with it, but I just repeated the same, conversation I had 5 years before, and convinced them that we should be in the genre business, because we didn't need, it could be publicity driven, you didn't need cast. So the first movies I did there was a slate of a few films. I taught Rob Zombie's House of 1,000 Corpses, Eli Roth's Cabin Fever, Open Water, which is a great story. And I started 5 little films that I was intending to all go straight to video unless one broke. One of those happened to be Saw 1, which I never won after it. And so things worked out pretty well. And stayed there for quite a while until it started to feel more like a business and a bureaucracy. And the moment they didn't let me make decisions by gut instinct and by doing numbers in my head, and they wanted me to run spreadsheets and have, I'm a guy who likes to cut my own trailers and do my own artwork and kind of, figure out the plan in my head. It allowed me to be pretty successful. The moment I had to kind of run it by other people, it became less interesting. So I left, and now I consult and I do films I like to do when I like to do them. It's different sides of my brains, but for this film, it literally was put together. Frank had sent me, I just want to tell a little bit because you'll see it. I want you to have a method of kind of watching it. Frank had sent me the script. I think he'd been sending it around, it was 2012. And Frank is a great photographer, by the way. Don't think he was sitting around in his parents' basement, with black light and nothing to do. He's a great photographer and art designer and things like that. So he'd sent around his script, and I had been running a TV network at that time that eventually got bought by Comcast. And it kind of like came in and went across the desk, and I thought there's an interesting idea. There's a shed, and there's a thing in the shed. That's kind of interesting. And about 5 years later, I was sitting there, and now I'm older, and I'm a parent, and I'm watching the news, and all of a sudden we see, kids who were bullied go back home and get their gun out of their dad's gun closet. And for a parent, that's, people always say to me, what's the scariest horror movie you ever saw? And I say, we need to talk about Heaven or Elephant. Because, when you become a parent, your world changes. Suddenly it's not, hockey masks and machetes, it's real world stuff. So I started to think, what if he didn't have a gun? And it brought me around to Frank. And we sat and reworked the script a little bit and kind of gave it a thematic angle. And I think it comes through really well. And we actually had a really good time doing it. And I think that he always thought we might make the movie. I don't think he ever thought we would make the movie for as little as we did. For that, I apologize. I think that we did it on a very modest budget and a very fast schedule. I think everybody who stood up, who said they worked on the film, would say, yeah, not enough money, not enough days, not enough craft service. But I think we're really excited about what we were able to do. Not every film is going to be Ford versus Ferrari, and not every film is going to be some big film and some big budget. But I live by the example. I've done it for everything I do, whether it was for the company or otherwise. You pay everybody. You give them you make sure they have a good time. You make them feel like they were part of the process, so that if the process is great, the product hopefully will be as good as that. But you never know, because you make a film 4 times. You make it when it's a script, and then Frank and I are like, oh, we'll make a movie, and then you all of a sudden go to budget the movie and you realize, oh, we got to lose this scene, we got to lose that scene, so now it's a completely different movie. And oh, by the way, this big exterior thing when it's not happening, and then you shoot it, and then you get what's in the can, and you're looking at it, and you're like, now it's a completely different movie. This performance is great. This one doesn't work. These scenes, we all of a sudden maybe the focus was a little, it's off. So you do it. So that's the third time. And then you got to market the thing, and all of a sudden the person that you thought was the big actor when you started is, now on the outs, and some kid you didn't know about is suddenly a star, and a horror comedy hasn't worked, and so now you're cutting the trailer differently. So you never really know how it's going to turn out. I haven't known when they've been great successes. The Saw movie to me was one that I believed in, the first one, but I had a movie called Fido, which is a little comedy that I thought was going to be a huge hit. Somebody saw Fido. I did a Bobby Darin film called Beyond the Sea, Kevin Spacey, which, if you liked it, it was a passion project. If you hated it, it was a vanity project. I thought it would be an Oscar-winning project. So you just never know. But what you do know, what you can control, is the process. Give people a community, give them a job, give them a paycheck, and give them a reason to show up every day. I think we did that pretty well. And hopefully you'll like the product too. So we'll see.
As somebody who works with Peter, I will say that you made it a pleasure to come to work every day. 100% feel that way.
I would disagree.
I drink whiskey and I play poker, so I don't know.
Frank, tell us about how this shed came about. Tell us the origin story.
The origin story is a long one. I'll give you the shortest version possible. Right after I finished film school in about 2002, I had two buddies that I went to film school with, and we were the only ones in our class making horror movies. So we kind of became like a little notorious in our film school. When we got out, we wanted to keep doing it, and my buddy Jason Rice, wrote a 10-page story called The Shed. And I guess similar to Peter's story, there's something about it that just stuck with me for years. And I had done another feature film in 2009, and after I finished that up, I was looking for my next project. And I said, let me write something that's going to be simple and quick, and it'll take my mind off of things. So I called Jason, who I went to school with, and I said, can I write a feature based on The Shed? And he was like, you want to write that? That was like 6 years older. And I said, yeah, let me just do it. It'll be a quick thing. And pretty much that's where it started. And that was around 2011, I guess. And it's pretty much as soon as I wrapped it up, I sent it over to Peter. And he was like, I love this. Please let me make this movie immediately. And me and Peter started our dialogue. And then it picks up pretty much where Peter picked up.
How did you guys
We connected through Steve Santanato. Another person a few years older than me that I happened to go to high school with knew Peter through another.
Okay, so this is where John's commentary about like you never know who you meet and who they're going to be.
Right.
He works at, I guess you could say, Rackspace, which hosts my email, and he wanted to know why my thing was called A Bigger Boat one day. So instead of just servicing it, and he actually called me up, and I was like, who's this guy calling me? Cold calling me to ask me what my website's about, and we started talking films, and he's like, does what everybody always does, I guess, when you're like me. Mind if I send you a script? Which is like the first question. You never wanted that. But I also knew he could shut me down electronically, and I never wanted. So first I said yes, and then became the shut.
Yeah. He called me and said,
the rabbi at my grandfather's funeral also slipped me a script on that day. And I took it because I was afraid if I didn't, he'd give him bad service. So, those are true stories.
I'm glad I beat out the rabbi from the funeral. No, I said I'm glad I beat out the rabbi.
We gotta wrap up, but anything else you want to throw out to the people here? I mean, I know there's so much that we would love to talk about. And
I just want to simply say that my personal experience shooting in Syracuse was really great, and I think that, I'm not saying this to like kiss anybody's ass or anything like that, but I think shooting in Syracuse made The Shed what it was, and I feel like if we didn't shoot here, we wouldn't have the sort of sense of community that we got. Because for all of us, this is like a foreign nation to me, basically. I mean, I live in New York, but it's so different up here. And I think us being here, being all staying in the same hotel, and just having the experience and meeting the Syracuse people and getting the Syracuse vibes of like the scenery and just the way everything was, I think all of that stuff adds to the film. And I think that it does show up on screen. You might not think so, but it does. I think that the camaraderie that we had on set, don't get me wrong, there were tense times, it was tight, but I think somehow the way we all sort of cared for each other and cared about the project, I think comes through in the film, and I think that's because we shot it. I truly believe that.
And I think that goes to what Elias was talking about earlier. I mean, we, with some of the locals who would always go to the Genesee afterwards when it wasn't a night shoot and sit around and just talk about the day and have a drink. It created that same vibe that I think Elias is after you guys to have on a regular basis, even when you're not making a movie. It was so much better for me, who basically just wanted a social outlet. That's why we made this movie. I just was lonely because my kids were away for the summer. But the truth of the matter was, what I wanted was what Elias is offering you every day. Like, you don't have to wait for a film to get together and go see a film. I mean, when we had an off day, we all went to the movies. Like, go talk about your craft, learn your craft, break down your craft, watch, documentaries about filmmaking, read film books, have professionals come in. But you guys are far more responsible for the success you're going to have in the future than we are. But you have to use each other. And you may have, you may be working now, but you may not be working later. And you may not be working now, but you may get that big gig. And it's like, trust me, I've been up and I've been down, and up is better, but down humbles you enough to want to know like how to get back up again and what you need to know. So if you can create that community amongst yourselves, you'll have a much better time when you're making movies when us outsiders come in and want to see how you work. So.
That's the purpose of these events. So this is for anyone. Is this anyone's first CNY Film Community Conference? Holy smokes, that's amazing. That's so cool. But no, that's the point. That basically what Peter's saying is that we do this quarterly. We do this 4 times a year for that purpose, so that we all get together, so that we all get to know each other. We know what everybody offers. We know what parts everybody plays, and what we can do. And when I get called, or one of you all get called, and you say, "Hey, I need 3 of you." You say, "Okay, I know 5 of me because I met them at the conference, or I worked on another film with them, and I can call them up and I can get them here, and we can take care of your film because we have this sense of community that we're all on the same page and we're all doing this together." So on that note, thank you all so much for coming out, being a part of this. This is huge. This is awesome. Give yourselves a round of applause.